Morning.
Chef Allen doesn't need an introduction. Everybody knows him.
Okay. You all know I had a restaurant before. Okay, it closed in the pandemic, yeah? So when we had the restaurant open, we had our definition of sustainability. It was to make decisions today so that our grandchildren's children, your grandchildren's children, can enjoy what we enjoy today, tomorrow. Okay? Simple, right? So, decisions. No iramyera. Okay? Why do you get cheese?
We just have some to taste. Don't worry about that.
He's like,
They wanted to put, we have,
Soda.
we have a surplus. They wanted,
Should I say that louder?
missing the shit.
you know.
Okay. Our grandchildren's children, your grandchildren's children. Okay? What happens if we don't have drinking water? What happens if we overfish tuna? Right? No more already. So that's why we make decisions today. Okay? To ensure your future, your children's future. That was our definition. Okay? Now, everybody makes decisions every day. When you buy something, that's a decision. Who you buy from, that's a decision. Okay? What I cook today is a decision, right?
Yeah.
What you decide to sell and promote on the floor, that's a decision. Okay? So, today is about Molokai venison. And this is the expert here that can talk about the environment, because we want to protect the environment, right? The forest, the water table, the aquifers, that's how we get our water and everything. So this is Micah Richards, the expert. I'm just the cook. Okay, I'll come back and talk about the food later.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Chef. All right, my name is Micah Richards. I'm from Mauka Meats. This, if you guys want to know my background, Kamehameha Schools, 2002 and everything, I'm sure that high school background will tell you everything that you need right now.
Public school.
Still good and everything. Great football team. My company is focused on doing meat distribution. I have, I've worked as a line cook before. I've also fixed fences, helped move cows and everything, hunted and done everything all the way from like doing stuff on the pasture all the way to the final place where we cook and get things on people's plates. And so I'm here, and what I try to do with my company is to aggregate and make things easier for small farmers, family ranchers, to get their animals, the proper treatment and also the proper price so that they can be sustainable in their own lives. So I work with the local co-ops on Big Island and Molokai. So it's not just one place and everything. We do grass-fed beef, roast veal, lamb, but today we're going to talk about Molokai venison because especially this is something near and dear to our hearts. Not because it's just delicious and everything, and I'm sure everybody wants to try it, but Molokai venison, or just axis deer in general in the state, is a highly invasive and really destructive species because they have no natural predators except for us. They proliferate and breed year-round, and they are indiscriminate foragers. So when they go and eat, it's not like how cattle are, where they move to a pasture and they kind of work like a lawnmower, where they clip all the grass and then you move them and get them to the next area. They strip everything. They get to an area, hunker down, eat everything, and then move on. They clip the grass, but also when they get hungry enough, and especially in drought conditions, they will they have two teeth like this, so it kind of looks almost like a backhoe, where they will reach inside and dig up a whole root ball. Versus like how a cow, they just wrap their tongues around it and they just use their top teeth to just kind of cut it like a lawnmower. In that case, grass grows back real quick within 5 to 7 days. If you damage and rip out that root ball, now that pasture land can need anywhere from 3 to 5 years of recovery time to ever come back to that same sort of level of both just the feed for the cattle, but also all that root and all that carbon storage in the soil. This is especially devastating in local forests, especially in the watershed areas inside the mountains. I mean, everybody's seen the hakuleis. We just had Mary Monarch just the other month. Those hakuleis are made from Ohile hua. That's a pioneer keystone species. That's the first to come up on water flows. It literally is a tiny seed, like a speck of dust that will grow by itself. And then it's what builds the forest for your ferns. It's what breaks lava rock with little thread roots that make soil. If you've ever felt the leaves on a lot of hakuleis that everybody loves, they're kind of fuzzy. That's actually, when you have that kind of surface area, it increases the amount of water that they can capture through cloud vapor in the mountains, and then that's what recharges the aquifer and everything. So that's why it's really important, because native plants, native forests, unlike things like you see from strawberry guava, albizia, or eucalyptus, when there's drought conditions, the native forest tries to maintain the moisture level and keep everything alive, versus the invasive species will suck everything up, try and protect themselves, and then hold back over like twice as much moisture inside their tree trunks and keep it so that they can survive instead of trying to help the rest of the environment in the area. This is why especially axis deer can be incredibly devastating, and that's why we're trying to help work with the hunters on Molokai, not to eradicate, but to control the population, and also do it in a way that's not just feasible for the environment, but also economical. Guys got to work. It takes time. We have to do things also in a food-safe way so that people can enjoy it, eat it, and trust it. Just getting into the harvesting operations, how it works is, you guys are here, Chef Zone. I'm sure each one of you has gotten a bit of education on food safety. A lot of it comes down to time and temperature. So for the hunters, when they're doing USDA inspected hunts, hunt starts at midnight. So you can expect that guys are working really hard. They're going out, and during this evening time, this is when, for the axis deer, it's low stress. This is when they're active at night, but they're calm, they're feeding, which is why for humane handling methods, the hunters will go in. They have a USDA inspector right behind them at all times monitoring the harvest. The hunters literally have an infrared scope, so it looks like something out of a video game or like some of the military action movies and everything. And the inspector's got the thing hooked up to Bluetooth to his cell phone so he can watch the shot. And humane handling methods for human consumption requires that you take the animal down in one shot to the head so that they're just happy, they're eating, and lights out, one bad day principle, everything's good. And then because of that low stress harvesting method, you get that less gamey flavor. I'm sure some people have gone out, had venison from your uncle, your cousin, somebody who went on a lanai hunt, brought everything back and was going to cook up everything for you, and you might have gotten that full bite full of like that gamey flavor that usually kind of puts a lot of people off. That's because usually they're hunting in the afternoon, and deer know when it's hunting season and everything, because when you're there in Lanai or Maui or Molokai, when it's not hunting season, you can find them everywhere. As soon as hunting season comes around, poof, they're off. But that's why when they're harvesting in the daytime, it's hotter. You have a lot more stress. A chase may be on, even if you're trying, because it's not during their feeding time. Right now, they're actively trying to avoid, because it's the daytime, they're herbivores, they're prey creatures, they have a herd mentality. So during that time, they know that many other active predators may be around. It's just their natural course of action. That's why it's always good to have hunters that work with the USDA inspection so that they have a good humane handling methods. They're quick, they're efficient, they're working professionals, and you can trust the process all the way through. They get things done in a very quick and speedy amount of time, and that's how you can trust it. And that's why also you'll notice when you eat some of this today, it's a lot. If you've ever had venison before, this is going to be a completely eye-opening experience to your flavors and everything, because you will taste a big quality, a change in quality that I think everyone's going to enjoy. So if there's any questions, feel free. And honestly, any questions, like if you got anything, like there's nothing like a silly question and everything, though I may give you a silly answer.
That's good.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, that's short, bro. Okay, we talked about decisions, okay? Every decision in the restaurant, okay, I made was about leaving Hawaii a better place. Okay, you all want to make Hawaii a better place, right? Okay, so you heard a little bit about how this is an invasive species. Okay, now you're going to taste some things, don't taste anything yet, but my goal is to prove to you by taste that this is not exotic, this is not gamey, okay, at all, and it's very, very comfortable to eat. Okay, so now you have 3 ground spoons, ground meat spoons. Okay, supposed to be. Did you intend for this to be 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, Lee?
No.
How? Top, bottom, middle.
Yep.
Top, bottom, middle.
Top, middle, bottom.
Okay.
That's for now.
So, what I recommend you do: no eat 1 spoon, 1 crack. eat maybe half. Okay? If you have water next to you, great. Okay? Now, when you eat this, at the end, you're going to tell me if you like the top, the bottom, or the middle the best. Okay? Now, a little bit of structure. Smell them first before you eat them. Okay? Low, medium, high. Strongest, least strongest smell. Okay? The texture. Is it like tough? Is it like tender? It's all ground. But is it dry? Okay? And flavor. The taste. Okay? If you focus on those three things, give yourself a number from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, you should be able to determine which one is your favorite spoon. Okay? When I say eat half, go top to bottom and bottom to top. And water is your best thing to drink versus anything else. Okay? Don't touch anything else, just the 3 spoons, and we're going to ask you a question. Top, bottom, middle. Which one is your favorite one? Go. Here's a little hint, okay? Once you eat, you cannot smell. You gotta smell all 3 first. Okay? Your senses get overloaded. Okay? And if you don't know, when you taste, smell is a big part of taste. When you taste anything and you chew in on it, okay, and your saliva is working to like help make this thing more moist, smell when you get the food still in your mouth.
Also, when you smell it, you don't need to just smell it with your nose. Like, take a breath. Let it also go around on the upper part of your palate, especially, because then that'll also help you with like your olfactory senses when you're tasting and you're smelling things.
By the way, there is no wrong answer. Okay, the right answer is the one you like. Okay, no wrong answer. Okay, we got everything tastes the same. That's okay. No wrong answer. Okay, you should at minimum have your favorite one and your least favorite one. Right? Changing your mind now, eh? See? I'm glad you ate a little bit at a time. Because in the beginning, it tasted the same because your senses get overloaded and you smell, taste nothing. It's just one thing, yeah? And now when you go back, you can appreciate a little bit, yeah? You notice different things. Okay, are we ready? I don't even know which of the 3 is in the order it is. How many of you like the top one the best? Top. Somebody count. Joy.
Can you raise your hand high, please? 1, 2, 3.
Top one. Okay.
4.
How many like the middle one best?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How many like the bottom one the best?
3.
Oh,
No, 3.
I think it's 4, 6, 3.
okay, so what are they?
The top one was the U.S. commodity beef. The middle one was the grass-fed beef, local grass-fed beef, and the bottom was the Mexican multi-beef.
Okay, you guys heard that? The top one was you go to the store, you buy ground beef, okay? 90-10, so very low fat. The middle one was local grass-fed beef. That's 90-10. And the venison was the bottom one, which is about 97.3.
97.3.
3% fat, okay? So if you're looking for a red meat alternative that's lower fat, this is the one. Okay? This has no salt, no seasoning at all, you know. Are you still grinding it? Right on. You like hers. Now, how many of you thought, now that you know which one is the venison, was smelly? Okay? That's okay. That's your nose. But hopefully, it's not as smelly as you thought it was going to be. Okay? So when I say clean, Clean to me means there's an absence of smell. And the gaminess, the stinkiness would have been smell. So now you know, you can feel confident that this ground venison, Molokai venison, because of the way it was harvested, killed, and processed, okay, is not exotic. It's very close to the grass-fed beef, right? Very similar. You said tastes the same, right? So not exotic and pretty clean. Okay? All right. Drink a little bit of water if you get. Eat the poke. If you don't want to eat poke this morning, that's fine.
Get one.
Okay? But these two girls went chow down.
I'll try it for you.
Okay, you know you guys just ate raw venison.
So good.
Okay, how's the smell? Right? So it's clean. Absence of smell. In fact, if it was tuna or some other fish, it might be even more smelly than this one. Right? So once again, when I met Michael for the first time, he brought us samples. I said, you can eat them raw.
Yep.
Right? And so I ate them with no salt, nothing. Then I made the poke and ceviche. Now this is the tenderloin, the filet mignon, the most tenderest part of any animal. Yeah? But you want to explain a little bit why they can eat this raw?
So part of it is just, that's all about the clean harvesting process. You know, what scares most people about just any meat is, you know, they're afraid of E. coli, all the other things like salmonella, all these other stuff that you hear about in the news or the food outbreaks. But here's the thing. We're in Hawaii. We don't have giant feedlots that you can smell from 15 miles away because there's just so many animals concentrated into a huge area that are butting up next to each other and
Oh no, keep going. She's talking to me.
Yeah, basically living inside their own filth. These are out there in the wild. They're moving around. They're just trying to meet themselves, trying to be clean as well, and go through their lives and eat. And then when the harvesters take them down, it's in a very clean and quick process. That it's all about, again, time, temperature, speed, and moving in a professional manner that's prudent, so that you can always ensure that the entire process from start to finish is both humane and always safe. We have USDA inspectors that are always around. If there was ever an issue, you know, then this is also one of the big things with the USDA for the federal agency. In every single USDA facility, both in the state and just around the nation, it's not one person stays there and then that's their facility for life. The guys actually rotate to prevent collusion and things like that. So even though the guys, everyone, it's a small state, it's a small industry, people know each other. The thing is, you know, this is their livelihood to ensure food safety for you, for everyone else. This is why we pay taxes. This is why I enjoy. This is the one place where I enjoy my taxes going to for food safety. But they're also always constantly rotating, so it's always it's usually a different person, or it's never the same guy at the same time to actually get buddy, uncle, brother's cousin, or anything like that, where they're going to give them a pass. They're like, no, you got to follow the process. You got to be safe, and this is why you can trust that you can eat it raw, just like if you were having a tartare from some fine dining restaurant that was serving you A5 Wagyu or something. Except for this, a lot more sustainable.
Now, when you cook this product, they have the loin, they have the rack, you know, like lamb chops, pork chops, okay? When you cook it, even if you grill it on the hibachi, you want to cook it between rare and medium rare. Once you go past medium rare, it gets kind of tough. 3% fat, okay? Very lean. And the more gamey it might taste especially well done, okay? So you had it raw, but if it was cooked, it would be rare, medium rare. Okay, if you take the ground beef and you make a hamburger patty, some of you might want to cook it by itself or cut it with a little bit of ground pork. Okay, hopefully what you get is it's a very tasty, clean tasting product that is not as exotic as you might have thought before you came in here. Yeah. Last weekend I went to the Big Island. I visited the Kampachi farm with 12 KCC students. So I look at farm-raised fish. It's not just kampachi, but I look at it and I see, if we put this on the menu and sell it, it is an alternative source of fish that's grown and raised in Hawaii, and we don't have to tap into the ocean 100%. Because if we keep tapping into the ocean 100%, one by one, the species will be gone. So what did I say in the beginning? Your grandchildren's children will not have that. Okay? Now that's fish. When I look at this, I don't just see Molokai venison, a local product, but I see us helping to protect the environment, protect the forests. Okay? And the forest has a lot to do with the water table. So that's what I see. And that's my perspective. And you're carrying that in the store. Okay? You have last comments?
Yeah. Just going on Chef Allen's efforts about sustainability, it's not just the environment. If you look at the pricing over here, we've tried our best to make it a little bit as much as affordable as we can, because we want to encourage people to eat it. And also part of those sustainability efforts is trying to make it easier for someone to say yes, just to try it, because it's already something that's different for most people's palates. They might have heard about it, and it's going to be their first time ever trying. Coming over here to Chef's Zone is probably going to be a lot of people's first time ever getting a chance to eat venison without knowing someone who's a hunter or a rancher from the outer islands, or just having that family members who's in that lifestyle. It's really important to let them know kind of the alternative things that they can cook. Again, that's why the 90-10 and those other meats were put in front of you, so that people can understand what they can substitute it in. Oh, how do I cook this? Well, like I said, you can mix it with pork and make some really amazing hamburgers. You got some nice fatty pork around. Or cook it by itself. Use it for chili, use it for spaghetti sauce, use it for taco night and everything, quesadillas and burritos for the ground. And also, if you look at the prices over there, and also if you look at some of the other guys who sell to the mainland for all the very fancy boxes, who I'm not gonna name right now, their prices are incredibly high, and some of the cuts that we have over here, you can't even buy directly from them without paying for a $200 or $300 box. So right now we've tried to make things approachable, affordable, and reasonable, and so that people can just think all right, instead of getting a lamb rack from New Zealand, I'll get a venison rack from Molokai. Instead of having a New York strip this weekend to go share with the boys, I'll get a strip loin or a back strap. Instead of getting fish, I'll go get a tenderloin and spoil myself with some really good poke. And so if anything that you tell people, tell them that it's sustainable, approachable, and it's not this crazy thing that they have to go look online for. It's you can find things that you can do already with your regular recipes and just switch it in, but understanding that it's a little bit leaner, which for some people might be a little bit healthier for their lifestyles. Okay. Any other questions, guys?
So, in my closing, because you're gonna eat cheese later on. I'm not the salesman. I'm not trying to sell you venison. Okay? You heard all the facts. What I'm trying to sell to you is an idea or a vision that you can help make Hawaii a better place for your grandchildren. Remember the decisions? Okay? And your perspective is a decision too. The attitude you choose is a decision too. Okay? So I want to thank you.